just going to show you quickly everything that you'll need for the bacon carbonara nachos. The only thing that's not included in this video is going to be chicken, because I'm grilling that right now. It's in my oven, and I'll show you that. So you're going to need some cheese. You don't need all of this. This is just all the cheese I shredded. It came in a block. And the cheeses that I'm using, which I absolutely love, is going to be this brand right here. This is from Dublin Air. This is 100% natural cheese. I believe this is their, what does it say? This is their aged cheese, and I absolutely love it. And then I have the Westminster 12-month aged sharp cheddar, which is absolutely phenomenal. You can use regular bagged shredded cheese. However, I like when I'm using, anytime I use cheese, I go for the good stuff. So I'm definitely using this, and I got this at my local Walmart. Then you're going to use some white wine. We're going to need some Worcestershire sauce. You're also going to need some heavy cream, or half and half. I'm using half and half. This is about a half a cup of half and half, which I'm going to make into a slurry, and I'll show you that later. And then we're also going to use some chicken stock. This is a half cup of chicken stock. You're also going to need some fresh garlic. I have 2 cloves of fresh garlic that I chopped up. This is my flour, and the flour is going to go for the slurry that I'm going to make with the half and half, so I'll show you that. And then right here you got some onions. I have 1 medium-sized yellow onion that I diced up. I have some small multicolored tomatoes that I diced up, which is going to render you, after you dice them up really small, you're going to get about a cup and a half of these. So I'm using some tomatoes, which I love, and the good stuff, bacon. I got a slab of bacon from my local eatery, and I just chopped them up into cubes, which I absolutely, oh my god, I love this. If you can't find like a slab of bacon, which I'm pretty sure you can, but if you can't find, or you don't have the money for it, then you can actually use bacon in place of this. They have cube bacon that you can get at your local grocery store, but I mean not bacon, I'm sorry, ham. They have a cubed ham you can get. So if you don't want to use bacon, or you don't have the money for a slab of bacon that you can dice up, then you can use cubed ham. But I'm using about, it was a half a pound of bacon, and I used a half of that. So altogether this is going to render me about a cup of bacon. And that is all that you'll need. You see, I have no seasonings. You don't need any salt. You don't need any pepper. The bacon's going to give you flavor. The onion's going to give you flavor. The chicken stock is going to give you flavor. The Worcestershire sauce is going to give you flavor. The cheese is going to give you flavor. You don't need any salt and pepper for this, because all of those ingredients are going to give you what you're going to need as far as the flavor goes. So I'm showing you how I make a slurry, which is really simple and easy. And the slurry is basically what we're going to use to thicken up the sauce, which is what I did not do. I actually made this recipe last night for my homegirls. They came over, we had drinks, we ate, and it was just so fun. And I thought I would make it again and videotape this, but this time make a slurry so that the sauce will be thicker. So you're going to just basically add some flour into your half and half, or if you don't have half and half, you can use heavy cream. And I'm using about 2 tablespoons to start off with. I'm going to whisk it with a fork. I want it to be, I want to make sure that the flour is well incorporated into this half and half. Because if it's not, and you start pouring this into your hot mixture with the bacon and all that, you're going to get clumps of flour everywhere, and it's not going to look pretty. So this is what we're going to use to thicken up the sauce, like I said. This is like something really quick and easy. If you don't want to make a roux, or if you don't have any roux, you can do this instead. And this is what we're going to add to the end of the actual carbonara sauce. We want to make sure that it's cold, because when you mix this cold into the hot carbonara mixture, that's what's going to help it thicken up quick. Okay, so if you can't see, the chicken that I have, I already I grilled it. I put it on a cast iron grill, and I popped the grill in the oven, and I let it cook in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. and then that's it. So I'm gonna let that sit, and the rest of my actually gonna put that to the side right here. And make sure that that rests, and then now it's time to start the whole process. So let's get into it. We're gonna start off with some bacon. Throw your bacon in there. Look at that. Look at that bacon. Bacon just look good, just sit in the pan, don't it? You can cut them smaller if you like. I want them to be big chunks. I want you to know that there's bacon in these nachos. And anytime I'm eating a carbonara anyway, this bacon is bigger, so I can see the bacon anytime I'm eating carbonara. I used to work at Olive Garden actually, when we had pasta carbonara on the menu, and them people will eat that crap. Ugh, I'm telling you. It was like, this is really thick sauce with those straw noodles. I got so sick of eating it, I was like, I would never eat carbonara again. And now I'm making something like it, but definitely my way. So I'm just gonna let this bacon cook for about 5 minutes, and then once it starts doing that, I'm gonna throw in the garlic, and then we're gonna throw in the onions, and the rest of the good stuff. Alright, the bacon's starting to get crispy. As you can see, it's rendering its fat. So now, I turn my stove down a little bit, because the cast iron skillet is going to keep this heat. We're going to throw in that onion. I use 1 onion, remember. 1 small, medium onion. Going to throw in that garlic. I'm going to be sure to keep moving this pan, because I don't want this garlic to burn. Because when garlic burns, it tastes bitter. And you can taste the difference from bitter garlic to some real good cooked garlic. You can definitely taste the difference. So we're just going to keep moving this pan around, making sure that that garlic does not get burnt, honey. Okay. It's already look good. See, this is the kind of stuff I would just eat I would just eat this just like this. This is how good it is. And the smell smells so good. I wish you guys could smell. I wish that they would come out with smell-o-vision to where you can smell the good stuff. So we're going to let this cook a little bit. Wait until the onions become translucent and softened up. And then once they become translucent, we're going to start adding the next ingredients. I'm going to throw in the tomatoes, the chicken stock, the white wine, all that good stuff. I'm sorry, I wasn't as close the first time, but now I'm getting close so you can actually see what I'm cooking. Alright, so as you can see, the onions are starting to soften up, starting to become translucent. We're going to throw in those really good tomatoes. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, yes. Look at that color. Ugh, so amazing right now. That color though. Like, so we're gonna throw in those tomatoes, stirring that up. And the tomatoes already have juice in them. So we're gonna get some juice from the tomatoes as well, which is gonna even make this carbonara nachos even more better. If you don't like tomatoes, you can definitely omit them and add something different. You can add some bell peppers, some multicolored bell peppers if you like. You can probably even add zucchini or squash. I would probably end up adding those though at the end I would add those toward the end because they do cook very fast. It doesn't take them very long to soften up and get cooked. But yeah, if you want to add that in place of tomatoes, you can do that. But tomatoes are bomb.com. I mean, I don't see why nobody wouldn't like them. Alright. So we got that cooking. Now we're going to throw in some white wine. And I'm just going to eyeball this. There's not really like a measurement for this. That's enough. So if you want to ask me how much I added, I'm going to say 3 tablespoons. Let's just put it like that. 3 tablespoons of white wine, and that's it. You already see is the juice from the tomatoes are rendering, and you see the white wine cooking. So I'm going to let that cook down just a tad bit. I want to make sure that the alcohol from the white wine evaporates. Well, I don't even think this really has alcohol. This is cooking white wine, y'all. I don't really know if this has alcohol in it or not. It don't never say. Oh, it does. Okay, it contains 10% alcohol by volume, 10%. So it does. So I'm just going to cook that for a little bit until it evaporates and the alcohol cooks out of it a little bit. Whew, this stuff looks so good. I'm telling you. When you make this, your family gonna be like, where'd you get this from? We need this every night. So I'm gonna let that cook for a little bit and then we're gonna come back. Alright, so I let the cooking white wine evaporate and cook out the alcohol out of it. While that was doing that, I chopped up my chicken. So voila. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I used 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I used 6 chicken tenderloins that I just grilled in the oven with salt and pepper, and I chopped up. Boom, 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 boom. So now we're gonna add chicken stock. Half a cup. Chicken stock. A little bit of Worcestershire sauce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 dashes of that. You don't need a lot of Worcestershire sauce. One thing I have noticed when I use that stuff, you use too much, it can be bad. It can go all the way left and not in a good way. So you definitely want to make sure that you keep an eye on how much of the Worcestershire sauce you actually use when you're putting it in your food, because too much of it can taste bad after a while. I'm basically using it just to give give it more flavor and to give the carbonara a little bit of smokiness from the Worcestershire sauce. Okay, as you can see, it's coming up to a light boil. So I'm lying. Lie, make your booty shine. Sorry, I'm actually gonna add the chicken now. I just thought about that. I'm like, why would I add the chicken after I add the slurry? I want to add the chicken now. So we're gonna add that chicken goodness to all the rest of the good stuff with the bacon. You got the onions, you got the tomatoes, you got the white wine, you got the garlic, Worcestershire sauce, chicken stock. You can't tell me this stuff don't look good. It's gonna taste even better. So we got that in there. All right, now we're gonna add the slurry. So that was a half a cup, and trust me, this stuff gonna get thick on you, but that's okay. Now let's say, hey, you say, Sayber, I added too much flour into my milk or my half and half and it's too thick. That's fine. You can thin it out with some chicken stock. Don't worry. Don't stress. Don't be frantic. It's okay. You just add some chicken stock to that and it'll thin it out. So as you can see, my stuff is thickening up. You see how thick it's getting? Look how thick that is. It's going to be even thicker. So now I'm going to take that off the eye. I'm going to move it because you see I have a cast iron skillet, and that cast iron skillet holds heat. So I took it off the eye. I moved it onto an eye that's not on. And then I'm going to just throw in a little bit of chicken stock. Like I said, if you think that your stuff is a little bit too thick, then you can add some chicken stock to thin it out. Because we're still going to have to add that cheese to it. You remember that? Alright. Make sure I don't fall over, because that would be tragic if it fell. Okay. So, thick, cool. Now, it's time to add the cheese. You can add as much or as little as you like. I'm going to add, this looks like a cup right there. And that was a mixture of 2 different cheeses that I used. If you remember, at the very beginning, I showed you the cheeses that I used, which are like one of my favorite cheeses to buy from the grocery store. It is definitely not cheap cheese. Which, now that I'm on a budget, I'm going to figure out what kind of other cheese I can use. But if you can't afford it or you can't buy it, don't worry. You can use pre-shredded cheese. Just do cheddar and do some like white cheddar or even Monterey will be great with this because it'll give it a kick. You know what I mean? It'll give it a spicy kick. Alright. So you see it's... Look at that cheese. You see that string? Look at that. Alright. So that's all to it. That's it. We're going to taste it to make sure the flavors are there. I don't want it to be too salty and I don't want it to be too bland. Oops. Oh yeah. That's up on point. Yes. Alright. So that's it. That's all you need. This can be a dip. You can make this into a dip. You know what I mean? But we're gonna put this on top of some nachos. I'm gonna show you that shortly. Alright, so I got some toppings I'm gonna put on it. Got some more tomatoes. I got the cheese. Cause actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in my little small cast iron skillet, pop it in the oven, and put some cheese on it so it can be melty and ooey gooey when you eat it. We got some black tortilla chips. I love the way they look against these colors. It's gonna make it look even more pretty and presentable. So if you're doing this for like maybe your friends are over and you're trying to make everything look all pretty and nice, you can do this. Get some black tortilla chips and it just looks so good. So you just throw that stuff on there just like that. It's just like some real good dip. This could even, like I said, this could even be into like, you can even set this as a dip, you guys. So I got that going. Throw in some tomatoes for the festivities. Go all the way around it. I'm gonna throw in some more tortilla chips. This is how you layer your nachos. You know how you usually, when you usually get nachos from somewhere, they just put chips on the bottom, put all the stuff on top. So then you got a whole pile of nachos at the bottom, they ain't got nothing on them. They just bare. I hate that. This is how you layer them. You put that first layer on there, then you get that second layer. Woo, your friend's gonna love you for this. Put some more. Boom. Just like that. Just want it on the side because I want you to really get this. Then we're going to throw some of that cheese on there. And then we're going to pop this in the oven real quick underneath my broiler just to melt the cheese. That's all I'm doing. Don't move. Don't you move. Just to melt the cheese. And that's it. Alright, so the cheese is melted. That's all it took, a couple of seconds. Cheese melted. We're going to top it off with some more tomatoes because I love tomatoes. I'm going to spread this around with my hands. The cup is not working for me. Make it look pretty. And the colors of the tomatoes are going to make it look even more festive, even more unique and different. Your friends are going to really think that you did something. Okay? Throwing some tomatoes on top just for some festive. I got some mixed lettuce leaves that I'm just going to rip up and just decorate as far as the top. You can eat these, of course. You want to make sure anything that you decorate your food with, your clients or your guests or whoever can eat it. This is edible. And that it also goes with the dish. So you don't want to be putting all just anything on top as a garnish and it ain't got nothing to do with your dish. Like, I wouldn't garnish this with no lemon because I didn't put no lemon in here. You know what I mean? So I'm just putting this on top just like that. And voila. Boom. Bam. That is bacon carbonara nachos. right there. Like I said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I did something a little bit different. I got a chance to actually talk while I made the food. So let me know down below if that's something that you would like to see more of, or if you just want to stick with me speaking over my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love and good eats. See you on the next one.